I pull into my driveway at 7 in the morning, my scrubs wrinkled and my body aching from another 12-hour night shift. My eyes burn from exhaustion, but there's also a quiet satisfaction in my chest. Tonight, I helped save 3 lives, a car accident victim, a child with severe asthma, and an elderly man having a heart attack. But when I walk through my front door, all I want is silence and sleep. My phone rings before I can even kick off my shoes. It's Allison, my older sister. Hey, I answer, trying to keep the tiredness out of my voice. Still working those pathetic night shifts, she says instead of hello. Her voice drips with judgment. Don't you want a real life, Emma? You know, like normal people? I just got promoted to senior marketing director. Meanwhile, you're still cleaning up after sick people in the middle of the night. The words hit me like a slap. I grip the phone tighter, anger rising in my throat. Allison, I'm a nurse. I save lives. That's not pathetic. She laughs. Whatever helps you sleep during the day, I guess. Gotta go, real work calls. She hangs up before I can respond. I stand in my kitchen, staring at my phone, feeling smaller than I have in months. My hands shake slightly as I set it down on the counter. Why does she always do this? Why does she make me feel like my work doesn't matter? I heat up leftover soup and sit at my small dining table, replaying the conversation. Allison has always been like this, flashy, confident, convinced that success means corner offices and fancy titles. She doesn't understand what it's like to hold someone's hand while they take their last breath, or to see a child smile again after days of pain. My work isn't glamorous, but it's important. That night, or rather, that morning, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about the patients I helped, about the families who thanked me with tears in their eyes. One family, the Johnsons, whose son I'd stabilized after a severe allergic reaction, had been so grateful. Mrs. Johnson had grabbed my hands and said, "You're an angel. Thank you for saving my baby." Before I left my shift, she'd handed me a handwritten note. "Please give this to your supervisor," she'd said. "Everyone needs to know what you did." I tucked it into my bag, planning to pass it along later. Maybe I should actually give it to someone. Maybe someone besides Allison needs to know what I do matters. My next shift starts at 7 p.m. I arrive early, as always, and head to the break room to prep. The emergency room is already bustling, paramedics bringing in patients, doctors shouting orders, nurses rushing between rooms. This is my world. Chaotic, exhausting, but alive. Around 9 o'clock, we get slammed. A multi-car pileup on the highway sends 6 patients our way all at once. The attending physician is tied up in surgery, and suddenly I'm the most experienced person in the My heart pounds as I triage patients, assessing who needs immediate attention and who can wait. A young woman with a head injury. A man with a broken leg. A teenage boy with internal bleeding. I move between them like a machine, starting IVs, ordering tests, keeping everyone stable until the doctors arrive. Hours blur together. At some point, I realize I haven't eaten or sat down since my shift started. My feet ache, my back screams, but I keep going. Because that's what we do. That's what I do. When things finally calm down around 2 a.m., I lean against the nurse's station, gulping water. That's when I notice him, a man in a dark suit standing near the entrance, watching me. He's older, maybe 50, with gray hair and sharp eyes. I've never seen him before. When our eyes meet, he nods slightly, then turns and walks away. Who was that? The next morning, I find something unexpected in my hospital mailbox, a copy of the internal newsletter. Usually, I barely glance at these, but this one has a sticky note attached. Page 3, thought you'd want to see this. I flip to page 3 and freeze. There's a short article titled, Unsung Heroes of the Night Shift. It doesn't mention names, but it describes a nurse who single-handedly managed a critical crisis, demonstrating exceptional skill and composure under pressure. That was me. They're writing about me. My hands tremble slightly as I read it again. Someone noticed. Someone saw what I did and thought it was worth writing about. I fold the newsletter carefully and tuck it into my bag. Should I tell Mom? Should I show Allison? But even as I think it, I know the answer. Allison would find a way to diminish it. Mom would probably forget about it by dinner. So I keep it to myself, a small secret validation. Later that day, my coworker Jenna catches me in the hallway. She's grinning. Emma, did you see the newsletter? I nod. You know that's about you, right? Everyone's talking about it. Mr. Hale from administration was asking about you yesterday. Who's Mr. Hale? He's like, high up. Board member or something. Anyway, people are noticing your work. You might be in line for something bigger. Something bigger? What does that even mean? I'm scrolling through social media during my lunch break when I see Allison's latest post. It's a photo of her standing in front of a sleek office building, wearing a designer suit, caption reading, promoted to senior marketing director. Hard work pays off. #success, #corporate life, #boss babe. The post has hundreds of likes and comments congratulating her. I scroll past it, feeling that familiar ache in my chest. Why do I let it bother me? I know my work is important. I know I make a difference. But somehow, Allison's shiny life always makes mine feel invisible. My phone buzzes with an email notification. The sender is the patient advocacy group of Metropolitan Hospital. I open it, curious. Dear Emma Mitchell, we are writing to formally acknowledge your exceptional patient care and advocacy. Mrs. Patricia Johnson submitted a detailed account of your life-saving intervention with her son, Marcus Johnson. Your quick thinking and compassionate care prevented a tragedy. We would like to recognize your contributions at our upcoming quarterly meeting. I read it 3 times, my heart pounding. They want to recognize me. Officially. This is real. This matters. I want to call someone, to share this moment, but who would understand? Mom is probably busy. Allison would find a way to make it about herself. So I sit alone in the break room, holding on to this small victory, letting it warm the cold place Allison's mockery left behind. That evening, I receive a formal letter in the mail. It's on hospital letterhead, sealed in a cream-colored envelope. My hands shake as I open it. Dear Ms. Mitchell, on behalf of Metropolitan Hospital's Board of Directors, we are pleased to inform you that you have been nominated for the Patient Advocacy Excellence Award. This honor recognizes healthcare professionals who demonstrate extraordinary dedication to patient care and advocacy beyond standard duties. I can't finish reading. Tears blur my vision. An award. They're giving me an award. I sink onto my couch, clutching the letter, letting the tears fall. All those nights of exhaustion, all those moments of doubt, all those times I questioned whether anyone noticed or cared, it wasn't for nothing. My phone rings. It's Mom. Emma, honey, why don't you ever share your achievements with us? Allison just told me about another promotion. What's going on with you? The question stings more than she realizes. I'm doing fine, Mom. Just working. You work too much. You need to find balance, like your sister. She has a career and a social life. I want to tell her about the letter, about the nomination, about the lives I've saved. But something stops me. Maybe I'm tired of fighting for recognition. Maybe I want to prove myself without needing their validation. I'll try, Mom, I say instead. Love you. After we hang up, I hold the letter close and whisper to myself, someone sees me. That's enough. A week later, I receive a call from Mr. Hale's office. His assistant asks if I can meet with him tomorrow at 2 p.m. My stomach twists with nerves. What does a hospital board member want with me? I arrive at his office exactly on time, my heart hammering. The door has a brass nameplate, Gregory Hale, board member and patient care liaison. I knock softly. Come in, a deep voice calls. Mr. Hale is the man I saw watching me in the that night. He stands, extending his hand with a warm smile. Emma Mitchell. Please, sit down. I take a seat across from his massive desk, my hands folded in my lap. I wanted to meet you personally, he begins, because I've been reviewing patient satisfaction reports and staff performance metrics. Your name appears repeatedly. Not just for competence, but for compassion, innovation, and advocacy. I blink, unsure how to respond. Thank you, sir. I'd like to discuss something with you. We're planning a hospital gala in 6 weeks to honor our most outstanding staff members. I want you to be one of the honorees. My breath catches. A gala? In front of everyone? I don't know what to say. He smiles. Say yes. Your work deserves recognition, Emma. You've saved lives, comforted families, and gone above and beyond your duties consistently. It's time people knew. As I leave his office, I notice Allison in the lobby. She's here for a consultation with a dermatologist, scrolling on her phone, completely unaware that I just had a meeting that might change everything. That night, I'm assigned to the pediatric wing. A 6-year-old girl named Lily was brought in after a severe asthma attack. Her parents are frantic, and the attending physician is stuck in another emergency. I stay with Lily, monitoring her oxygen levels, adjusting her medication, and holding her small hand. You're going to be okay, sweetie, I whisper. Just breathe slowly with me. She squeezes my hand, her eyes wide with fear, and I stay with her for hours, long past when my shift should have ended. I miss a family dinner Mom had planned, but I can't leave until I know Lily is stable. Around midnight, her breathing finally evens out. Her parents hug me, crying with relief. The next morning, I wake up to see Allison has posted another story on social media. It's a photo of the family dinner I missed, with the caption, "Some people are too busy living in hospitals to spend time with family." Priorities, anyone? The mockery is thinly veiled. I stare at the post, anger and hurt mixing in my chest. She has no idea what I was doing. No idea that I was saving a child's life while she was posing for Instagram photos. I consider responding, defending myself, but what's the point? Allison doesn't want to understand. She wants to feel superior. So I close the app and get ready for another shift, carrying the quiet knowledge that my absence mattered more than her dinner party ever could. A few days later, Mom comes to the hospital for her annual checkup. I don't see her arrive, I'm busy in the but she texts me, at the hospital for my appointment. Wish you weren't working so much. I don't have time to respond. We're short-staffed, and I'm running between patients like always. What I don't know is that Mom, while waiting in the lobby, notices something. There's a section of wall near the main entrance dedicated to staff recognition. At the top, in gold letters, it reads, "Wall of Heroes Honoring Extraordinary Care." Below are photos and plaques of staff members who've received special recognition. And there, among the current nominees awaiting final approval, is a small plaque with my name, Emma Mitchell, Wall of Heroes candidate, nominated for patient advocacy excellence. Mom stops walking. She reads the plaque once, twice, 3 times. Her hand flies to her mouth. Emma? Her Emma. The daughter she thought was struggling, working menial night shifts, lacking direction? That Emma is nominated for the Wall of Heroes? She pulls out her phone and takes a photo of the plaque, her hands shaking slightly. She wants to find me, to ask me about it, but my text had said I was working. So she sits in the waiting area, staring at the photo, her mind reeling. How did she not know? How did Emma never mention this? When did her quiet, exhausted daughter become a hero? I don't know. Mom saw the plaque. I'm too busy dealing with an influx of patients, flu season is hitting hard, and the is packed. Around 3 p.m., my coworker Jenna pulls me aside. Emma, did you hear? That woman in room 4 was asking about you. She's telling everyone how you saved her daughter last week. I remember, Lily, the little girl with the asthma attack. Oh, that's sweet. It's more than sweet. She requested to speak to your supervisor to formally commend you. You're racking up quite the reputation. That evening, as I'm leaving, I pass the wall of heroes. I rarely look at it, it feels too official, too distant from my everyday reality. But tonight, something makes me pause. There's my name, listed among the nominees. It still doesn't feel real. Meanwhile, across town, Allison is having dinner with Mom. They're talking about work, about life, about everything except me. Then Mom's phone buzzes. It's a notification from the hospital, a reminder about her follow-up appointment. The notification shows the hospital logo, and suddenly Mom remembers the plaque. Allison, she says carefully, did you know Emma was nominated for something at the hospital? Allison rolls her eyes. Probably some participation trophy. You know how those places are. But Mom's expression is serious. No. It's called the Wall of Heroes. It said something about patient advocacy excellence. Allison's fork pauses halfway to her mouth. Wall of Heroes? That sounds significant. The envelope arrives on a Thursday. It's thick, formal, embossed with the hospital's seal. I open it with trembling hands. Dear Ms. Mitchell, you are cordially invited to the annual Metropolitan Hospital Gala, honoring excellence in patient care and medical innovation. As one of this year's honorees, your presence is requested. The letter goes on to detail the date, time, and dress code. I'm being honored. At a gala. In front of the entire hospital staff, board members, and community leaders. My first instinct is panic. I'm not good with crowds or attention. I'm the person who works quietly in the background, not the person who stands on a stage accepting awards. But my second instinct is something else. Pride. I earned this. Despite Allison's mockery, despite Mom's doubt, despite working night shifts that leave me exhausted and invisible, I earned this. That evening, Allison posts another comment on social media, this time responding to a friend's post about healthcare workers. Let's not over-celebrate nurses. They're just doing their job. Everyone works hard. I see the post and feel a familiar anger. But this time, it's different. This time, I have proof that my work matters. Proof that extends beyond Allison's narrow understanding of success. I screenshot her comment, not out of pettiness, but as a reminder. A reminder of why recognition matters, and why staying silent about my achievements has let people like Allison define my worth. Not anymore. Another night shift, another emergency. This time it's a multi-vehicle accident, 4 patients arrive simultaneously, all critical. I move between them with practiced efficiency, prioritizing care, delegating tasks to the younger nurses, keeping everyone stable until the surgeons arrive. Around midnight, a senior doctor, Dr. Patel, pulls me aside. Emma, I've been watching you work tonight. Your decision-making is exceptional. You should seriously consider pursuing advanced certifications. You're wasting your talent on general work. The comment catches me off guard. Wasting my talent? I love what I do, I say honestly. He smiles. I know. That's why you're so good at it. But there are leadership positions, specialized roles that could use someone with your skills and compassion. Think about it. After he walks away, I stand in the empty hallway, his words echoing in my mind. Leadership positions. Specialized roles. I've been so focused on surviving each shift, on proving my worth to my family, that I haven't thought about what comes next. Maybe there's more for me than I realized. Maybe this is just the beginning. When I finally leave at 7 a.m., the sun is rising over the city. I'm exhausted, my body aching, but there's something new stirring in my chest. Not just pride, but possibility. What if I stopped settling for being invisible? What if I started claiming the recognition I deserve? A week before the gala, I receive a private thank you letter from the hospital director, Dr. Sarah Chin. Dear Emma, I want to personally acknowledge your extraordinary contributions to Metropolitan Hospital. Your patient advocacy, clinical skills, and compassionate care have saved countless lives and comforted families during their darkest moments. You embody everything we strive for in healthcare excellence. I read the letter 3 times, tears streaming down my face. The hospital director knows my name. Knows my work. Values my contributions. That evening, I'm driving home when I pass Allison leaving a restaurant. She's with her corporate friends, laughing loudly, dressed in designer clothes. She doesn't see me. For a moment, I feel that old familiar envy. Her life looks so easy, so celebrated, so visible. But then I remember the letter in my bag, the plaque on the hospital wall, the families who thanked me, the lives I saved. Allison's success is loud and flashy. Mine is quiet and profound. And I'm starting to realize that quiet doesn't mean lesser. It just means different. When I get home, I text Mom, "Are you free for lunch tomorrow? I want to talk about something important." She responds immediately, "Of course, honey. Everything okay?" I smile. "Everything's good, Mom. Really good. I just have something to share. I do something I've never done before. Using part of my savings, I anonymously donate new pediatric equipment to the hospital, specifically to the wing where Lily, the little girl I saved, had been treated. The equipment costs more than I'd like to admit, but it feels right. It feels like putting my money where my values are. The hospital announces the donation in a press release, thanking an anonymous benefactor for the generous contribution. Local news picks up the story, interviewing Dr. Chun about the impact of such donations. "This equipment will save lives," she says on camera. "Whoever donated it understands the critical needs of pediatric emergency care." Mom sees the news story and mentions it at dinner with Allison. Can you imagine? Someone donated $50,000 worth of equipment to the pediatric wing. I wonder who has that kind of money and that kind of heart. Allison shrugs. Probably some guilty rich person trying to feel better about themselves. Mom frowns. That's a bit cynical, don't you think? I'm realistic, Allison corrects. But Mom is quiet, thinking. She remembers the Wall of Heroes plaque, remembers Emma's name. She remembers how Emma missed family dinner to work in the pediatric wing that night. A thought begins to form in her mind, but she pushes it away. No. Emma doesn't have that kind of money. Emma works night shifts and lives in a small apartment. Or does she? Allison is at the hospital for a follow-up appointment when she overhears two nurses talking in the hallway. Did you see the gala invitation list? Emma Mitchell is being honored as one of the top 3 nurses this year. Emma? Night shift Emma? She totally deserves it. I've never seen anyone work as hard or care as much as she does. Allison freezes. She ducks behind a corner, listening. I heard she's being considered for the Wall of Heroes. That's like the highest recognition you can get here. She saved that Johnson kid, remember? And that elderly man with the heart attack? And she's always taking the hardest cases, staying late, covering for everyone else. Allison's face burns. The Wall of Heroes? Top 3 nurses? This can't be right. Emma is just Emma. The quiet sister who works night shifts and never has an exciting life to share. How is she being honored at a gala? When Allison gets home, she immediately texts Mom, "Did you know about Emma? Apparently she's being honored at some hospital thing." Mom's response is careful, "I saw something at the hospital. A plaque with her name. I've been meaning to ask her about it." Allison stares at her phone, an uncomfortable feeling growing in her chest. What if she's been wrong about Emma? What if those pathetic night shifts are actually something more? Mr. Hale asks to meet with me again. This time, he's more direct. "Emma, the gala is in 3 weeks. I want you to understand what this means. The Wall of Heroes isn't just a plaque. It's a lifetime recognition. Your name will be permanently displayed in our main lobby. It's reserved for healthcare professionals who have demonstrated exceptional and sustained excellence." My throat tightens. Lifetime recognition. "I also want to coach you on something," he continues gently. "You've spent your career being humble, working behind the scenes. But this is your moment to step into the light. To let people see the incredible work you do. I'm not good with attention, I admit. I know. But think of it this way, every time you step forward and claim your achievements, you inspire other nurses to do the same. You give them permission to be proud of their work. He hands me a program for the gala. I flip through it, and my breath catches. There on page 5, featured honoree, Emma Mitchell, right now, Wall of Heroes inductee, recognized for patient advocacy excellence, life-saving clinical skills, and compassionate care. I'm the featured honoree. The main recognition of the evening. You deserve this, Emma, Mr. Hale says softly. Let yourself receive it. That night, I stand in front of my mirror, practicing acceptance. Practicing letting myself be seen. It's harder than any night shift I've ever worked. Allison posts about her latest promotion again, complete with photos of her new office. Meanwhile, I'm shopping for a dress for the gala. I've never attended a formal event like this. I don't own anything suitable. In the dress shop, I try on several options before finding one that feels right, a deep blue gown that's elegant but not flashy. Understated but beautiful. Just like how I want to be seen. The saleswoman smiles. Special occasion? A work event, I say. I'm being honored for doing my job well. She zips up the dress, and I barely recognize myself in the mirror. I look professional, confident, worthy of recognition. You look stunning, she says. Whatever you did to earn this honor, I bet you worked hard for it. I did, I whisper. I really did. When I get home, Mom calls. We'd planned to have lunch, but I'd been so busy with shifts I kept postponing. Emma, honey, can we finally talk? I saw something at the hospital, and I need to understand what's going on. My heart skips. She knows. What did you see, Mom? There's a long pause. Your name. On the Wall of Heroes. As a nominee. I close my eyes, deciding in that moment to finally tell the truth. I'm not just a nominee anymore, Mom. I'm being inducted. At a gala in 2 weeks. Silence. Then, quietly, why didn't you tell us? The night of the gala arrives. I stand in my apartment, dressed in my blue gown, hands shaking as I apply minimal makeup. My phone buzzes with a text from Mr. Hale, car will arrive at 6 p.m. to bring you to the venue. You're going to do great, Emma. A car? They're sending a car for me. I feel like Cinderella, except this isn't a fairy tale. This is real, earned, deserved. When the car arrives, I take one last look in the mirror. You earned this, I tell my reflection. Don't forget that. The venue is a historic hotel downtown, glittering with lights and elegance. As I step out of the car, cameras flash, local press covering the event. I'm directed to a private reception room where other honorees are gathering. Doctors, nurses, administrators, all dressed formally, all accomplished. I'm one of them. At 7 p.m., we're ushered into the main ballroom. It's breathtaking, crystal chandeliers, round tables with white linens, hundreds of guests. Hospital staff, board members, community leaders, donors. Everyone who matters in the healthcare community. I'm seated at the head table, next to Dr. Chan and Mr. Hale. My name card reads, Emma Mitchell, right now, Wall of Heroes inductee. Across the room, I spot someone unexpected. Allison. She's standing near the back, looking around with wide eyes. She wasn't invited, but she convinced someone to let her in. When our eyes meet, her expression is complicated, shock, confusion, maybe even shame. The ceremony begins with speeches from the hospital director and board chairman. Then Mr. Hale approaches the microphone. Tonight, we honor individuals who embody the very best of healthcare. People who don't just do their jobs, but who transform lives through compassion, skill, and dedication. He talks about several honorees, each one stepping forward to applause. Then he pauses. Our final honoree tonight is someone who represents the heart of nursing. She works night shifts when most people are sleeping. She takes the hardest cases when others are overwhelmed. She saves lives without seeking recognition, comforts families without expecting thanks, and consistently goes above and beyond her duties. My heart pounds. This is it. Emma Mitchell, would you please come forward? The room erupts in applause. I stand on shaking legs and walk to the stage. The lights are bright, and hundreds of faces are turned toward me. This is the moment I've been invisible for years, suddenly thrust into full visibility. Mr. Hale hands me a crystal plaque. It reads, Emma Mitchell, right now, Wall of Heroes, for exceptional patient advocacy and life-saving care. Camera flashes explode. More applause. I look out into the crowd and see Mom standing near the entrance, tears streaming down her face. She came. She actually came. And beside her, frozen in shock, is Allison. Her face is pale, her expression stunned. She's finally seeing what I've been trying to tell her all along. My work matters. I matter. The applause continues as I stand on stage, holding my plaque. Mr. Hale leans toward the microphone again. I'd like to read a portion of Emma's nomination letter, submitted by the family of Marcus Johnson. He unfolds a paper and begins reading, Emma Mitchell saved our son's life. But more than that, she gave us hope when we were terrified. She held our hands. She answered every question with patience. She stayed hours past her shift to make sure Marcus was stable. She is the reason we still have our son. She is a hero in every sense of the word. Mom's sobbing is audible now. I can see her clutching her chest, overcome with emotion. She's realizing, maybe for the first time, what I actually do. What I've been doing all these years while she thought I was just struggling through pathetic night shifts. The camera pans to the Wall of Heroes display that's been set up at the side of the ballroom. It's a preview of the permanent installation that will go in the hospital lobby. And there, in gold letters beneath my photo, is my name and achievement. Emma Mitchell, right now, Wall of Heroes inductee, 2024. Allison stares at it, her mouth slightly open. She looks like she's been punched. Like everything she thought she knew has just been proven wrong. I step off the stage and walk directly toward Mom. She meets me halfway, wrapping me in a tight hug. I'm so sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry I didn't see you. After the ceremony, guests mingle in the reception area. People I've never met congratulate me, shake my hand, tell me they've heard about my work. It's overwhelming and wonderful and terrifying all at once. I give a brief speech when asked, keeping it humble and focused on teamwork. I couldn't do what I do without my colleagues, without the doctors, without the support staff. Healthcare is never about one person. It's about everyone working together to help people in their most vulnerable moments. The audience nods approvingly. I'm not bragging. I'm not seeking glory. I'm simply stating the truth. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. When the speeches end, I finally have a moment alone. I step outside onto the hotel terrace, breathing in the cool night air. Footsteps approach behind me. It's Allison. We stand in silence for a moment, the city lights spread out before us. I didn't know, she finally says, her voice small. I didn't know any of this. I tried to tell you, I say quietly. Not directly, maybe. But every time you mocked my night shifts, every time you made me feel small, I wanted to say something. I wanted you to care enough to ask. She looks down, shame written across her face. Mock me all you want, Allison. But my work speaks louder than your words ever will. I walk away, leaving her alone on the terrace. It's not cruel. It's just honest. And for once, I'm choosing honesty over keeping the peace. Inside, Mom finds me. She's been crying, her makeup smudged, her expression raw with emotion. Emma, I need to apologize. Really apologize. We sit in a quiet corner, away from the crowd. I didn't understand, she continues. I thought you were just, I don't know, struggling. Working random night shifts because you couldn't find something better. I compared you to Allison constantly, and that wasn't fair. It really wasn't, I agree. She takes my hands. Tell me everything. Tell me about your work, your patients, why you do this. So I do. I tell her about Lily, the 6-year-old with asthma. About Marcus Johnson's allergic reaction. About the elderly man with the heart attack. About the countless moments of fear and triumph that make up my nights. She listens, tears flowing freely. You're a hero, she whispers. I've been raising a hero and didn't even know it. I'm not a hero, Mom. I'm just a nurse who cares. No, she says firmly. You're both. And I'm so proud of you I can barely breathe. We hug for a long time, and something broken between us starts to heal. My phone buzzes. It's an email notification. I glance at it and my breath catches. National Nursing Excellence Award, nomination approved, congratulations, Emma Mitchell. I show Mom the email. Her eyes widen. A national award? I guess so, I say, stunned. This night just keeps getting more surreal. The next few weeks are a whirlwind. The hospital hosts a public ceremony where my plaque is permanently installed on the Wall of Heroes. Local news covers it. Patients and families I've helped over the years send letters and flowers. The recognition is overwhelming. But what matters most is the shift in my family. Mom calls regularly now, asking about my shifts, my patients, my life. She brags about me to her friends. She's finally seeing me. Allison, however, is different. She doesn't call or text. She goes silent on social media for a while. Then, about 2 weeks after the gala, I receive a message from her, "Can we talk? In person?" We meet at a coffee shop. She looks different, less polished, more uncertain. "I owe you an apology," she starts. "A real one." I wait, letting her find the words. "I've been jealous of you my whole life. You're naturally kind, naturally good at helping people. I've always had to work so hard to get attention, to feel valuable. And when you chose nursing, I convinced myself it was beneath you, beneath us, because it made me feel better about my choices." I'm quiet, processing her confession. "But watching you on that stage," she continues, "seeing everyone celebrate you, reading about the lives you've saved. I realized I've been measuring success all wrong. You're successful in ways I'll never be. And I'm sorry for making you feel small when you're actually extraordinary." Her voice breaks on the last word. Allison's apology sits between us like something fragile. I don't respond immediately. I let the silence stretch, thinking about all the years of mockery, all the times she made me feel invisible. "I appreciate the apology," I finally say. "But Allison, you hurt me." Repeatedly. It wasn't just one comment. It was years of dismissing my work, my choices, my life. She nods, tears in her eyes. "I know. And I don't expect you to forgive me right away. I wanted you to know I see you now. Really see you." "That's a start," I say. A few days later, the National Nursing Awards ceremony takes place. It's smaller than the hospital gala, but somehow more significant. I'm one of 10 nurses from across the country being recognized. The award comes with a grant to continue education or research. When they call my name, I think about the journey that got me here. The exhausting night shifts. The patients who became like family. The moments of doubt and fear. The quiet persistence that nobody saw. The stage lights are bright, but I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I feel steady. Grounded. Proud. Mom is in the audience, beaming. Allison is there too, clapping genuinely. And for the first time, I feel like my family actually understands what I do. Afterwards, a young nursing student approaches me. "You're my hero," she says shyly. "I want to work night shifts like you. I want to make a difference like you." I smile, remembering when I was hurt, uncertain, hungry to help, invisible. You will, I tell her. Just keep showing up. Keep caring. The rest will follow. 6 months later, I'm standing in the hospital lobby, looking up at my permanent plaque on the wall of heroes. My photo, my name, my achievements, all there for everyone to see. A little girl tugs on her mother's sleeve, pointing at the wall. Mommy, who are these people? Her mother reads my plaque aloud. Emma Mitchell thought she's a nurse who saves people's lives. She's a hero. The little girl's eyes go wide. A real hero? A real hero, her mother confirms. I smile to myself and walk toward the staff elevator. I'm still working night shifts, by choice now, not necessity. I've been offered promotions, leadership positions, daytime administrative roles. But this is where I belong. In the chaos of the in the quiet moments with scared patients, in the trenches where lives are saved one shift at a time. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Allison. Dinner this weekend? I want to hear about your work. Really hear about it this time. I type back, sure. I have Sunday off. Things with Allison aren't perfect. Trust takes time to rebuild. But she's trying, and that matters. Mom sends a photo. She's volunteering at a community health clinic now, inspired by my work. Following in your footsteps, her message reads. Better late than never. I think about the person I was a year ago, exhausted, invisible, doubting my worth because my family couldn't see it. And I think about who I am now, still exhausted, but seen, validated, confident in my purpose. The truth is, I didn't need the awards or the plaque or the gala to know my work mattered. The families I helped, the lives I saved, the patients who smiled at me with gratitude, that was always enough, but it feels good to be seen. It feels good to have my family finally understand. It feels good to stand in front of that wall of heroes and know I earned my place there. As I step into the elevator, a colleague joins me. Another night shift, she asks. Another night shift, I confirm with a smile. You know they're calling you a legend around here, right? I laugh. I'm just doing my job. No, she says firmly. You're doing so much more than that. And we all see it. The elevator doors close, and I catch my reflection in the polished metal. I look tired. I always look tired. But I also look strong, capable, proud. True kindness is never unseen. Quiet dedication always leaves a mark. And sometimes, the world notices before those closest to us do, but when they finally see you, really see you, it's worth the wait. I step out on the 4th floor, ready for another shift, ready to save more lives, ready to continue being exactly who I am. A nurse. A hero. Emma Mitchell, and that's more than enough.